Are you one of those amazing people who performs better with a live audience? And let's just imagine for just a moment that you have a very important set of videos you want to create. Maybe it's the sales video or the launch videos for your next product, and you'd really love to have a live audience to do it in front of. So how in the world do you get a live audience? May I suggest that there's a really easy way. So I was struggling with this very issue one time, and I started thinking creatively about it, which, by the way, is oftentimes the solution to almost any problem, and said, hey, how about if we try this? So here's what I did. You can try it yourself, see if it works for you. I decided to mail my list, offering them a free live seminar. Now, it can be free, it can be paid, it can be expensive, it can be whatever you want. In this case, I decided to give them an offer for a free live seminar. And what I decided to do was, I knew that much of my audience was going to be at this certain live conference. And so what I did is I chose to do it the day before, or you could do it the day after a major event where they're already going to be there. So they're not going to have to get on a plane or anything else like that. And then what I did is I went to the hotel and I rented a small conference room at that same hotel for the day after that big live conference. Now that was great, because here's the thing. This was a huge conference, and they didn't have a lot of people wanting to rent rooms the day after, because this huge conference was still breaking down in all the main rooms and everything else like that. So I got it for a song. I think it cost me $350. Let's just budget and say it's $500 to $2,000 to buy that, to rent that live conference room. Then what you do is you've mailed your list and you say, hey, I'm going to do, and I suggest you actually do this as a very open, frank discussion. Hey, I've got a really important video I need to film in front of a live audience. And so I'm looking for a live audience. If you're going to the XYZ event, what I'd like to do is hold a seminar with you the day afterwards. It's free. The only thing I ask for you is that you be a live audience for the filming that I'm going to do right after that. So we're going to do 4 hours of training and masterminding. And after that, I'm going to shoot these videos, and I'd love for you to be there. Interested? Go here. All right. So then what you do is you do a live training or a mastermind, either one, depending on how it works for you and your audience and your expectations with them, in exchange for them being an audience for you to create these live videos. I strongly suggest you hire a video company to actually do the video. So I used my daughter because she was like a professional videographer, but then you have to worry about getting in lights and microphones and everything else like that. And sometimes you just want to get that pressure off yourself. By the way, check your contract with the hotel. Make sure that they're not going to, that they don't have some kind of restrictions. Most of them don't, but a few of them might. And because you just don't want the stress of having to come up with all these things yourself. All right. So then what I did is I did about 4 hours of training and mastermind. And then I did 2 to 4 hours of audience participation as my audience for me doing the video. And here's what I discovered. I've done this 3 times now. Here's what I discovered. What I like to do is do live seminar for 2 hours. Then I film for about an hour or 2 and knock off 1 or 2 of the most important videos. Then I go back to live seminar, and then I finish up with an extra hour or 2. And oftentimes that's coming back. The videographers have gone off in the other room and come back and said, we really need to refilm this little section or something like that. And so that way I'm not doing seminar and then everybody's wanting to leave, or they've got plane flights or whatever. And so my audience is dribbling out of the room. I do it in the middle. They know they still got conference going on around that. Here's what happens. Many of the people really appreciate this concept. So they appreciate 2 things. So if you got a marketing oriented audience, they appreciate actually, hey, learning things and seeing how all this works and seeing you actually put together that presentation. But then on top of that, even if your audience isn't all that marketing oriented, it's sort of fun. It's like going and being on, I'm going to use old people because I don't watch TV anymore, Oprah show or those kinds of things, being in the live studio audience. And what I find is when I've done these in several ways. First off, I've done them as a reward for my best customers. Hey, I only mail my best customers. Hey, if you'd like to be there, I'm doing this special thing just for you. I've also done it as a bonus. Selling of a product. Hey, I'm going to do this free live seminar at such and such a place. I've also done it as an introduction. Hey, if you've never bought anything from me, you've never been part of one of my live programs, hey, come do this. Come join us. And I've also done it this way. I've chosen a big city, not around another event. So I chose Phoenix, where I knew a lot of my people were living, and I just mailed to those who I knew lived in that area within 4 hours of there. So I was able to pick up Las Vegas and some of those areas around there. And so I mailed to those people and I got a live audience and it was great. And I'm going to share with you one other little small added bonus you get out of this. Each time I've done it, I've actually gotten sales from the people in the room who said, I want to buy that product. Will you sell it to me? And it's like, yeah, I'll take your money. So in the end, what's ended up happening is twice I've done this free. One time I did it for $97. And what ended up happening was with the cost of the room, cost of renting the video people, offset by the sales that I got from those people, I ended up actually making money or at least breaking even on those days. So just an idea. Once again, creativity can oftentimes solve almost any problems. I performed better in front of an audience. They loved watching the process. I got good feedback from them. One of them said, I remember one of them, I was doing the sales video, and one of them said, and somebody afterwards raised their hand and said, I really didn't like the part where you did this. And it turned into like a focus group on my sales video. And so we refilmed it, changed some of those parts, and I think I sold more as a result of having that. Just some ideas, just wanted to throw them out. What do you think of this idea? You can try it yourself? Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.